Hi everybody, it's Jen. I'm making a Father's Day card using the Duh-Nuh set from Lawn Fawn, as well as Happy, Happy, Happy for the Father's Day sentiment, and the little seagull from the Life is Good stamp set. I'm also bringing in this older paper pad for this wood grain piece of paper by Amy Tangerine, Yes Please, to make a porthole. So I'm going to start off by coloring my images here. I'm using this adorable little shark and then the fin. So my markers are a little bit off camera, but I'm using IG1, IG2, IG3, and IG5. So I'm just laying down the IG2 right now. IG3 will come next after I blend that out. So this is the IG3, just making it a little bit darker. I thought for this time I would give his underbelly a little bit of a darker shadow, thinking that maybe his upper body would cast a bit of a shadow on him. So this is the IG5, and then I'm going to go back through from the darkest all the way down to the lightest again. But I am pretty excited to color this in the reverse way, so giving him a lighter tummy and a darker top. But this is the first time I colored the image and decided to do the darker on the bottom for this go around. This is a very easy image to color. I'm just giving him some dot detailing on the back just to give him a little bit of something because he is so monotone gray. I'm going to use the coordinating dies here to die cut these on my Big Shot machine. And then I'm going to move into making the rest of the cards once you see these cute little images all die cut out. So I'm going to be doing some distress blending. So this is tumbled glass, and I'm only using a very small portion of this, so I'm not really concerned that I'm not going to the edge of the paper. And I'm using these wave dies by MFT. So I'm going to be cutting out 3. The second one is using peacock feathers, and the third one is going to be using salty oceans. So I'm using 3 different ocean wave dies to cut out 3 different wave, what's the word? You can see them here, just so that they have different curvatures in them so that there's a little bit of variation in them. And then I'm going to be using this circle die. This is a diamond die, circle die. And I'm going to be cutting this out because I want it to look like you're peeping through a porthole in a ship. I believe that's what they're called. And so I used 2 of these stitch dies by Simon Says Stamp to make the wood grain porthole. Now I'm just making sure everything lines up. I had originally tried this by adhering all of the paper together, the waves, but it didn't cut through my Big Shot because the watercolor paper is very thick. So I'm just lining them up here, trying to figure out how I want them to go. I cut 2 of the waves out of the tumbled glass just so that there was one in the front and a little bit lighter at the back as well, because you know how sometimes the waves at the top look lighter where they're kind of cresting over and you can see the white foam. So I was kind of going for that look. So then I have these together and I am going to do a sky. So this is just a piece of cardstock paper that I've used the Stitch Cloud borders from Lawn Fawn just to make my own little stencil. I'm using the tumbled glass and I'm just going to do it a couple times to give me different layers of clouds. And again, I only need a very small piece, so I'm going to take a look at which piece I want and then die cut it out using the circle. So you can see here I'm just trying to figure out which piece do I want to use, and I go for the spot on the left. It just had a little bit more variation. I know it's probably hard to see in the video, but so I'm going to die cut that out. I'm going to adhere that down, and then I decide that I should probably glue this all to the porthole before I glue on the background. I was afraid that I would misjudge and then I'd have a gaping hole in the circle. So I decided to do this, and then the 4 pieces of the watercolor paper are so thick that I decided to pop the top up using 3M foam tape. So taking the backing off the front and the back allows you to manipulate it in a circular or curved motion, which is great when you're trying to put the foam tape down on circles. So now I have that together, forgetting that I had put some glue on the back, tape runner. So I kind of adhered this down to my mat, but it came off, so that was good. So now I'm just going to put the little shark fin in the waves, and then I'm going to put 3 of the seagulls floating above him in the sky, just because I felt like the sky needed a little bit of something extra. So here you can see I managed to adhere that down. I had also used the 3 distress colors to make another piece of paper for my sentiment. So this is where I'm going to stamp Happy Father's Day. And I'm just going to leave that to the side to dry because the Versamark ink can sometimes smear until it's completely dried. So now I'm going to work on the panel of the card, and I'm just stamping right on the card base. I mean, my father and father-in-law don't really care if there's a separate panel. And I also realized that I should have masked this off, but again, I didn't really care that much. They're not going to look at the back and say, oh, she's stamped it on the back here. They're just going to like the card. So, but if you are particular, you would want to mask that side of the card before doing this. So I'm just using the sentiment that says Duh-Nuh all over the back of the paper. And then once I've folded this, I just noticed a few gaping spots that I wanted to fill in. So I'm going to do that really quickly. And then I'm going to work on finishing the rest of the card. So just going to adhere the porthole down to the center of the card, and then I'm going to use these glitter dots to make it look like it's a porthole. And then I'm going to pop up the sentiment on some foam adhesive, and I play with this for a little bit because I'm trying to get it centered in between the sentiments, and it's a bit spaced out on near the bottom of the card, but I did get it in place. And then I decided that I wanted to make it look like the shark was in water. So I just used whatever distress ink I still had left on my sponges. I did not dip them into ink anymore, and just used that on the inside with the sentiment, "You are Jawsome." And then I put the little shark here. And then I decided because I wanted him to be underwater, I'd put the bubbles to make it look like he's saying the sentiment, "You are Jawsome." So that's my Father's Day card for this year. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I have some still shots coming up here. I think it turned out cute. This was a last minute. I needed to do something really quick, so it's not elaborate, but I think it got the job done. So thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.